Hi guys, welcome to another reading on my channel. I'm glad to have you here today because we are doing an exciting topic, and that is how to balance your divine feminine energy. Each and every one of us have within us the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy. And when we balance the two, we become an integrated person. So today's reading will have to do with the divine feminine aspect, and maybe some other time we will do the divine masculine energy as well. You can choose between three different piles, which are pile 1, Moonstone, and the card Inspiring. Pile 2, SHVA LINGAM, and the card Empowered. And pile 3, Amethyst, with the card Wise. If you guys need some more time to choose your pile, you can pause the video and do whichever ritual you usually do when picking piles, and then I'll see you there. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. You have chosen the Moonstone and the card Inspiring, which will give us our first clue to how you can balance your divine feminine energy. It doesn't matter whether you're a female or a male, because we all have this divine feminine energy inside us. And for you to balance that, to really utilize everything that it can give you, you need to focus on your 6th chakra or your 3rd eye. Like we see here, there's something that needs to be revealed, some type of truth, some type of objectivity that will allow you to really make most of your divine feminine energy. So this can pertain to maybe you looking at a certain situation differently in terms of finding new ways to inspire yourself, maybe finding new ways to do things that up to date were pretty much routine, and then maybe you find a new and exciting way to approach things. Maybe for some of you it is just simply finding strength in doing things that other people perceive as weak, as vulnerable, and maybe finding your own strength within that. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are somebody who really understands people, who is in tune with other people's emotions, who is truly empathetic. And because you can be very open about your own feelings and maybe share your own stories, your own downfalls that you went through, people tend to open up to you the same way. And where other people might seem and deem this as weakness, for you it can be your own personal strength. I'm also seeing for a lot of you here is if you are doing some type of corporate job, or maybe you're in an environment that is basically based on results, on the physical, on the material aspects, I feel like you need to gain a broader perspective of why they function the way they function, why there are certain procedures that have been set in place. And maybe if you can look at it without judgment and with more understanding, I feel like you guys could actually approach the same thing with a more spiritual and more gentler and creative approach. Basically, what I'm saying is that you can approach things without having that deterministic, goal-oriented mindset. You can approach it in another way and still receive good results. This is what I'm getting from the first card. We are definitely going to dive a bit deeper so that you guys can get a bit more information on how you can balance your divine feminine energy. What do we need to know here? So we have the Hermit, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Two of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Five of Pentacles, and one more, the Two of Swords. Okay, let me get that straightened out. So basically what I'm getting here, pile one, is that you're not meant to do things like other people do them. You're meant to pave your own path. You're here to truly inspire other people to follow your way. With the Hermit and the Six of Swords, what I'm heavily getting here is that you can deliver a different approach, a different resolution, a different way of doing things than the way it's been done up till this point. And even though you will receive maybe a lot of friction, a lot of doubt, a lot of comments about the things you're trying to change and what you can give to this, I feel like it is coming from a place of deep wisdom. It's like you have this knowledge from either a previous life, or you have gotten a certain type of download from your higher self that tells you this is the way forward. And I feel that a lot of you still are afraid of being ridiculed, afraid of being rejected, afraid of losing opportunities, and basically having no room for growth, no chances of improving. And I feel like there's a lack of faith here, basically. Okay? You've been giving this download, this knowledge from some previous time. You have been given this because you are a vessel through which this can implement itself in this life. And the fears, the agony you may be going through when you think about it is because of the previous conditioning and maybe the way you are perceiving your reality, your surrounding. And this is why I said you need to look at things more objectively, because you're heavily influenced here by the subjective perception of whether this personal people will accept the things you're trying to change, whether they will say you are of no good, that they will reject you, they will disown you, on wherever this situation might be. You fear like they will turn their backs to you. But what I feel like I need to tell you here, pile one, is that even if they do so, you still should move forward. Because in the end, you are meant to be an inspiration. You are the pioneer. You are the first one to make the path for others to walk behind you. And while treading that path, you're going to find a lot of friction. You're going to find a lot of people who will try to pull you away from that path, and other people who will try to diminish you, who will try to do something against you in order not to walk that path. But I feel like you are meant here to really dive into that feminine, that intuitive part of yourself who says, believe it and then you will see it. Not the other way around. Not see it and then I'll believe it. The other way around. Believe it and you will see it. And it's trying to convey to you that you are the creator of what's happening to you. And if you believe that there's a positive outcome to this situation, that outcome will manifest itself. But if you if you grow these thoughts of doubt, of insecurity, of fear, that is exactly what you will get. You will get that reflected back to you. So truly to be inspiring, you have to start believing in yourself and believing in that feminine energy, that intuitive part, all-knowing part, which we all possess, but listen to so rarely. You need to have faith that you have been given this guidance that will ultimately lead you to that goal. Even though it seems like it's taking you through the mud, through the valley of the shadow, it doesn't matter if you have faith in it. And in order for you to balance this, you need to look at the situation from a different perspective. You need to look at it the way life looks at it, as a cycle. Once you go up, you have to go down. And it's all part of the whole story. So even if this manifests, even if some people turn their back, there will be people who will face forward towards you. It's a circle of life. Let's pull some advice, Pile 1, for you here. What would be the advice for Pile 1? How can they balance their feminine energy, their divine feminine energy? Break the chain. Ancestor patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Exactly. Like I already said, you have this conditioning. Whether it's from your past life, from your ancestors, or maybe from this life and just the way that you were brought up. And you are here to break that chain. You are here to set a new path. You have the privilege and the responsibility of being that pioneer. Sometimes it can be a heavy burden to carry, but guys, it doesn't have to be, okay? Sorry, the light is just in the wrong place. I can just move it a bit further. Yeah, this is perfect. So you have that responsibility, but if you won't do it, who will? Nobody's going to do it for you. You are the one who has the chance to do it. And then all of the people around you will benefit from it. But if you don't do it, who will? So break the chain, Pile 1, and lead the path. You have played this double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Exactly. You are definitely, Pile 1, a high-level soul. You have come to this life and into this particular situation, not only to channel this new way of doing things, this new approach, but also to affect everyone who you come in contact with. You are here to uplift humanity with your work, with your change that you're going to implement. And this is why you have this higher priestess, like I said, this knowing from some time before. Maybe some of you do come from the Pleiades. Maybe you do. But I do really think that a lot of you here with your challenge are meant to do great work for the whole humanity. And this is why certain challenges are placed in front of you, because you have a big role to fulfill. And in order for you to be able to do that, you need to grow into it. You need to grow strength, resilience, endurance to be able to do it. So instead of charging forward with force, you do it in the opposite way. You go slowly, you go intuitively, and you go with faith, believing that you will be guided, and in the right time, the right message will come to you. My dear Pile 1, this was your reading. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave me down a comment in the comment section. It means a lot to me when you give me your feedback, whether the reading resonated or whether it helped you in any sort of way. Until next time, Pal 1, bye. Hi Pal 2, welcome to your reading. You have chosen the SHVA Lingam stone and the card Empowered. This card is connected to our root chakra, and what I'm feeling for you guys here is that in order for you to balance your divine feminine energy is to stop resenting the masculine energy. So I feel like within you, the feminine energy has been so severely hurt that it trusts nobody. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel like it's even possible to get some gentleness and kindness from the opposite sex, here the masculine. And until you heal the wound, until you see the masculine in its true form, in its divine masculine energy, I feel like for a lot of you here in Pal 2, you will have trouble forming connections. You will have trouble really become successful in your job, but not in a physical material sense, but in a fulfilled inner happiness, inner success way. I actually feel that a lot of you here are compensating with your work. You're compensating for this lack of emotional stability and safety that you feel. And it all comes from this heart in the center. I don't know if you can see it in the card, but there's this heart, which definitely brings me to the conclusion that this may have to do with either a partner that hurt you severely, either this is a wound that is inflicted to you by your father or your grandfather. So definitely male energy here, and male side of your ancestor line heavily impacts you, who you are today, and how you view the world. And in order for you to balance that feminine energy, you need to heal whatever has been hurt here and see the divine masculine as an integral part of yourself, because we all have both energies. And if we resent one energy, then we are resenting a part of ourselves, and we have locked all our potential within that resentment. So your life suffers because of that as well. Okay, let's dive a bit deeper. Let's get some more info on how can you balance your divine feminine energy. What do we need to know for Pal 2? How can you balance that? We have the Queen of Swords, yeah. So either some of you are divorced, widowed, or maybe your parents got divorced early in life. I see again a lot of resentment, a lot of you want revenge. You want to revenge something, or if you don't want a revenge, you want to confirm to yourself that you have been right all along. And this Queen of Swords, she comes with a frozen heart. But that frozen heart, even though it protects her in a way, at the same time, it closes her up for the love that she could receive. It makes her feel cold instead of feeling the love and the warmth of being with another person. And this is why I see here from the beginning there is a resentment towards the male energy. Somebody has hurt you badly. And until you heal this, until you feel safe to open your heart again, it's going to be very hard to form meaningful connections. You're only going to get hurt because that is the irony of this situation. The Queen of Swords ices her heart in order to protect herself but she doesn't realize that she's completely harming herself by doing so. And nobody else can harm her from the outside, but she's doing it to herself from the inside. What else? Page of Wands. Very interesting. What do you need to know? The Two of Swords. How can Pal 2 balance their feminine, divine feminine energy? Two of Cups. And the High Priestess. So, I feel like there's a deep urge in yourself to really open your heart, to be naive, to have that leap of faith towards somebody, to really be reckless a bit, to not think about whether a person can hurt you, whether love can hurt you. There's a part of you deep inside that would want nothing more than to just let go and just live. But you are so cautious, you're so careful about what you do. It's like you're looking for reasons to point out that somebody has done you wrong, that somebody is not treating you well. And even though that may be the case, that might be the reality you are living, the problem here is this Two of Cups. Somewhere deep inside of you, you have connected love with pain. And in order for you to feel any type of love, it has to come with pain. And this is why I feel like this might be the biggest obstacle you face. Somewhere deep inside you, you may not believe that love can be simple, that love can be easy, and that love can be nourishing. You might believe that it has to come with great obstacles, with great pain, with great effort. It cannot be that easy because it hasn't been easy for you. So it must not be that way. And with the High Priestess here, I definitely feel like you have gone to the extreme of that female energy, where you are basically resenting everyone. And you're not truly letting anyone come near you. You are so protected within that bars, that jail you have built for yourself. You have frozen your heart to the point where you can no longer even function, because every single interaction hurts. But in your mind, it cannot be any other way. That's just love. Love comes with pain. And because of that, you are not able to live any other way. So in order for you to balance your feminine energy, you have to bring your power back. You have to recognize that by shielding yourself behind the walls of your frozen heart will not shield you from experiencing pain. Quite the opposite. The villain that was once on the other side has become the villain inside. And nobody is really causing you harm rather than yourself. And you need to take back your power. You need to take back your heart and allow it to open up. And allow yourself to love and maybe even get hurt again. Because that might be part of the process. But even though your heart gets hurt at times, it doesn't mean it should have to close itself down. Can it be that your heart can be strong and vulnerable at the same time? It is. It's possible. But not with this resentment, not with the belief that love comes with pain, not with the belief that love cannot be easy. So this is the thing you need to change. Even though this might have been your reality up to this point, after this reading pile 2, you can start to change this. You are not a victim of anybody else. Even though there might have been situations where you truly were a victim, but everything after that, with all this resentment and this belief here, you are basically doing it to yourself. And you need to take back your power, because you are not powerless, pile 2, not by any means. There's a lot of deep healing that is needed for this pile, I have to say. And it's going to take a bit of effort to really let go of this, but it's possible. It really is, pile 2. Let's see some advice. How can pile 2 balance their feminine energy? What can they do? Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? So we have 2 times the priestess here, but with this priestess here, I feel like you have disconnected from everything and everyone. And how are you being called to step up and lead? How would a priestess who has this inner knowledge, this sacredness, this innocence, how would that princess lead other people? With resentment and disconnection? I don't think so. I feel like you have so much power within you that you have locked inside because of the wounding. And I see the 3rd chakra illuminating here on this card, which tells me that instead of doing things out of resentment and out of hurt, you can transmute that and approach people in a different way. You can use this pain as your fuel for self-growth and as a means to fulfill your purpose. You can do that. And let's see one more. No. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. So there's a certain boundary you need to set. And this is the first step in taking back your power. If you had the power, if you weren't feeling so defeated here, if you didn't feel like you have nothing to do with this situation, what would be the one thing that you could do? If you could do anything, what would be the one thing that you could do in this situation, pile 2? Answer that question and then do it and see and witness how your life will transform. My dear pile 2, this was your reading. I really hope it resonated. I know it's a bit of a hard message to hear, but we have all been there in a way. So I do understand you. I know what you're going through. And as somebody who's been through this phase and healed it and used it as a part of my purpose, I will tell you that it is possible. And your feeling of helplessness and resentment can be transmuted into something more beneficial and inspiring. If you liked this video, please leave a comment, give me a feedback. I always like to read how you perceive the readings, whether it was helpful or not. And guys, I hope that I see you in the next one. Bye. Welcome, Pile 3, to your reading. You have chosen the Amethyst and the card Wise, which tells me right off the bat that the way that you can balance your divine feminine energy is through connecting to your ancestors' wisdom, either to the wisdom of the animals, maybe a spiritual guide, animal guides, angels, or some other type of spiritual assistance. But for most of you, I feel this is tied to your ancestors and the way that they perceive things, the way that they experience things, and the lessons they have learned through their lifetimes. I do feel like a lot of you here from Pile 3 are extremely spiritual. You are very open to the concepts of energy, of transcendence, of reincarnation, and all sorts of spiritual dimensions that come with it. And I feel that most of you here have forgotten the amazing wisdom that you can get from life around you. So spiritualism is not something that's out there somewhere. If you want to live a truly spiritual life, you can find it everywhere. You can find it in this glass of water. You can find it in this crystal. You can find it in the cards. You can find it in money. You can find it in anything physical. Because everything physical is just a manifestation of something on a spiritual level. And I feel like you guys, with all the amethyst and the purple color here, you need to find your connection to your roots. This is why I was getting the ancestors so heavily. And with the number 4, I feel like it's time for you to ground all of the spiritual knowledge you have collected and accumulated. And I do want to bring in this amethyst as well into our circle here, because I feel especially drawn to this, to do this now. I don't know, it might be a specific message for somebody here, but this is my amethyst crystal ball, which I love very much. And I don't usually put it inside here, but I feel like it's needed to be here. So in order for you guys to really embody your full feminine, divine feminine energy, to be imbalanced with it, you have to ground the spiritual knowledge. And also one of the things that you need to know, and you probably already do, is that divine feminine, the divine mother, is Mother Nature. It's the physical world. So everything spiritual you have learned and realized needs to be implemented in the physical. So this is your message that's coming through loud and clear. But let's dive a bit deeper to see what else wants to come through. How can you balance your divine feminine energy, Pile 3? And even the deck, the tarot deck, is purple, which is incredible for you, Pile 3. You got all the purple colors today. The crown chakra is truly active within your energy field. But again, this needs grounding now. So let's see. How can you balance your divine feminine energy? We have the 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. We have the 9 of Wands. The Knight of Wands. The 2 of Swords. Interesting. This card has come up in all 3 piles today. And one more. The 5 of Swords. Okay. Pile 3. Imagine a world where our world leaders were as spiritual as you guys are. Wouldn't that be amazing, right? And I feel like you were somebody who will in a way lead people when you ground the spiritual knowledge. It's like a lot of you from Pile 3 have been rejecting the material, the money aspect, the wealth, the prosperity that comes in material form for a long, long, long time. And now it is time for you to fully embrace it, for you to come full circle and recognize that money, wealth, material possessions are just another aspect of the divine. And if used correctly, with the right wisdom, with the right knowledge, with the right intent, it can do wonders for the whole world. And I know that maybe some of you have certain doubts whether that can even be achieved in this state of the world today, whether it is pointless to even try. But I feel like you guys have been given this task to actually show other people that it can be done, even if it's just only for you and your life. Even if you may not be somebody who will impact the world and be a world leader who will rule with not only authority but with empathy as well, not only with the material aspect but with the spiritual as well. Even though you might not be that person, maybe you will just live your life with the same accordance and then inspire somebody else to do that. You never know who you will inspire, who you will basically, whose world you will basically change just by being that integrated whole person. And I feel like you will precisely do that. Other people will look at you and be inspired. Other people will find ways how to be in your place, how to do the same thing you have achieved. And they will look at other people who have been doing things the old way, and they will see no benefit in it. They will see that it's not the right way. So I kind of feel like you are meant to be this mentor. This is why we got the card Wise. You are meant to be this mentor, this figure in the shadow who will probably just advise other people how to do things in a proper way, in the healthy, integrated, balanced way. And that will inspire and influence maybe a whole new generation. But it first has to start with you grounding yourself into the physical, giving all the lessons that you gain from the spiritual realm, giving it to the physical realm, and truly embodying it day by day. And living, in a way, life of luxury, but not because you crave luxury, it's because it's a result of you being such a balanced person, of you knowing that it's only a mean. Money and material possessions are only things that you use according to your intention. And I feel like a lot of people would be driven to you and inspired by you through that ability to actually use that same thing in a different way that other people are using it. And I really hope that you guys recognize how important this thing is. Even though you may not play like a crucial role, maybe you will not be remembered in the history books, but you will definitely make people to do things that will be remembered in history books. This is your legacy, Pile 3, and it's a big one. Let's see some advice for Pile 3. How can you balance your divine feminine energy? How can you truly embody? Because you are very balanced in terms of feminine energy. It's still not, it's not embodied. It's not put into practice. Let's see. Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, I feel like there is a contract, a soul tie here, somewhere where you have denounced that part of yourself from being manifested in the physical. Maybe it was something in your past life that had to have been done in this proper way. But for a lot of you, I feel like you are afraid that the material will change you, that it will corrupt you. But I'm here to say that if you are true in your spiritual faith, if you are true in your lessons that you have attained, there is no amount of physical possessions that can alter who you truly are. So release that belief, release that conditioning that money will make you bad, and realize that money will only show you who you are. Power will only show you who you are. It does not change you. It allows you to be more of who you are. So if you are this highly spiritual individual, imagine what could you do if you gain all the money and power in the world. This is why I started with the question. Imagine if all our world leaders were as spiritual as you. How would our life look like? It's what we do with the things we have, not the things we have. They don't change us. We use things according to who we truly are. And let's see one more guidance for you. We have two coming up. I'm going to take them. So the first card is leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Yeah. I feel like maybe some of you are also afraid to take that leap of faith, to maybe fall down from that spirituality you have attained to and attuned to. But again, that's the fear of the physical, that it might transform you into a form of yourself that you don't want to be. Again, look at the conditioning, look at that belief. Where does it come from? Rich people are bad. If you have this amount of money, you are not a good person. Try to find the root cause of that and deal with it. And we have one more. Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. Yeah, so this is what I was getting. You are truly a light worker, pile 3. You are supposed to shine and allow others to be inspired by the light. You are the one that will show others that it's possible to have this balance between the spiritual and the material, and that if you're material or materialistic, that you don't have to denounce the spiritual part. And as well, if you are spiritual, you don't have to denounce the material part. There is a union, the sacred union between the two, that is available to all of us. And you are going to be the one who can show others the way to do it. My dear pile 3, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. If you liked it, please leave me a comment. I truly appreciate to hear your feedback. It means a lot. And of course, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And I hope that I see you in the next reading. Bye.